Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Empire, where we dominate the crypto market. My name is Connor. In this video, we'll be going over Aerodrome Finance and the AERO token. Aerodrome Finance is the largest DeFi protocol on the Base network. It leads all metrics, from total value locked, volume. It is leading the way in everything. Also, Coinbase got added to the S&P 500 recently. This is major news. Being that Aerodrome Finance is the largest protocol on the Base network, it does lead me to believe that Aerodrome Finance has a very bright future ahead. So in this video, we'll go over all the recent updates around AERO, and we'll take a look at the price chart and go over exactly what you should be looking out for as we head into an altcoin season. Let's get into the video. So at the current moment in time, the AERO token is trading for 69 cents with a market cap of $571 million and a fully diluted valuation of $1.1 billion. Now the all-time high of AERO is $2.32. It is still down 70% from the all-time high. This is the case with a majority of altcoins in the market right now. They've bottomed out in April. They're looking to essentially continue on this new uptrend that has formed. However, they're still massively discounted from the all-time high that just happened 6 months ago. So as I get into the price chart, we'll come back to the price and the all-time high. For now, let's go over the recent updates. First of all, I mentioned it in the intro of the video, but Coinbase joined the S&P 500 just 2 weeks ago at the start of May, essentially. First half of May, Coinbase was added to the S&P 500, which of course is the largest 500 companies in the U.S. economy on the U.S. stock exchange. So this is major. This is huge. And again, Aerodrome Finance, if we look at the Base chain, the Base network, it leads all metrics. It is number one across the board. Here's AERO on the Base network, and it has a total value locked of $1.02 billion. And just look at the fees and the revenue that this exchange generates. In the past 24 hours, it generated almost $500,000 in fees, and in terms of revenue, it made $388,000. Look at this. You can see with the revenue annualized, 148 million, right? So this is a real crypto product. It is not a meme coin. It generates real revenue. It has real users. It has real volume. It's not to be understated, okay? Aerodrome Finance is the whale's pick on the Base network. And we also know that by volume. Just look at the 24-hour trading volume, right? $40 million in 24-hour trading. Just on the Bybit perps alone, the volume is $9.5 million. Okay, this is a whale token. This type of volume is not seen for tokens that are not essentially traded by whales. Okay, so that's one thing to note. And also, AERO, it was the best performing Base token in 2024, as you can see. From February, it was trading for 10 cents, and it made a high of $2.37. Yes, some meme coins outperformed it, but in terms of like real protocols, real projects that aren't meme coins, this was a huge, huge winner, and it was mainly driven by whales. So anyways, are the whales going to drive it up again? More likely than not, they will. We'll come back to the price chart in just a moment of time. Now moving on to the Aerodrome X account, right? Massive account, 101K followers. And, you know, they're basically just tweeting out all of the different things they offer, from liquidity providing rewards, the popular pools right now, all the recent updates, you know, new USDC, and then the Euro stablecoin can be traded on Aerodrome Finance now. Definitely follow them on X if you're looking to stay up to date with everything going on, as well as their new listings, things like that, right? They're constantly adding new tokens to trade on Aerodrome Finance. And if you're not familiar, right, it's just kind of a decentralized exchange, automated market maker. You can swap one token for another. You can provide liquidity and earn rewards. It's a decentralized exchange. I've shown many tutorial videos on how to use Aerodrome specifically, as well as many other DeFi protocols. So I'll leave a card to a video that I showed how to use Aerodrome in 2024 right here. But let's keep it moving on right now. So one thing to note as well, all the money they raised, right, it's basically just Coinbase itself, the Base ecosystem fund, and it's all undisclosed. But, you know, this is, again, Coinbase's, or the Base Network's chosen whale token, in my opinion. Now, before we get into the price chart, let's go over the Velo data to see what's going on with the perpetual futures for AERO. So looking at the Velo data, we can see the aggregated funding rate. And it is starting to flip green here on the daily time frame. The past 3 days, the funding rate has flipped green, and this indicates that longs are now paying shorts. Okay, so that likely means that there's more long positions opening than short positions. That's why the funding rate is now green, and that means that the longs pay the shorts. Also, if you look at the open interest here, now the open interest is interesting because, you know, it's currently at 20 million. And if you look at it from January 1st, here's January 1st. You know, this is the highest it's been since the start of 2025. Okay, it has spiked up over here when the market topped the week of the Trump inauguration, January 20th. We had a big spike up. That was the peak for the year. And then we also peaked over here in April at the bottom, just after the bottom when we started to move out of the bottom. But yeah, this is the highest the open interest has been since the start of 2025. And all open interest tells us is that people are opening new positions. Okay, it doesn't tell us if they're long or short. It just says that people are opening fresh, new perpetual futures positions for Aerodrome. And again, it's likely to the long side, being that longs are now paying shorts given to us by the funding rate. Now, if the funding rate was spiking, it would be somewhat dangerous and we should look for a retracement, but the funding rate is not necessarily spiking right now, so it's not an overcrowded trade to the upside right now. That's one thing to note. But with everything we've gone over so far, you guys should have a really good grasp on Aerodrome Finance. So let's go into the price chart and let's discuss what is happening. So looking at the chart right now, this is the daily time frame. The entire crypto market bottomed out on April 7th of 2025. Aerodrome Finance is no different. Here's Monday, April 7th. AERO made a low price of 28 cents there. The current market price is 69 cents. So it's up substantially from the bottom, right? It's currently up 145% in just a period of 46 days. Now the question is, we've just went ahead and we've hit a higher time frame supply zone here from around 75 cents up to 88 cents. As you can see, we have formed triple drive here. Triple drive, this is a very reliable topping pattern to indicate a pullback, or, you know, if the price was trading at an extreme premium, it would be a good indication of a macro top, but we're not trading at an extreme premium at all right now. So anyways, what you should know, we cleared the previous swing high. We had a bullish break of structure with daily closes above this previous swing high at 56 cents. All right. So the bottom is in my opinion. The question right now is, are we just going to blast off, or are we going to potentially double bottom before the blast off? That should be the question on everybody's mind right now, especially if you're a trader. If we look at the previous bottoms, we've seen in the past how oftentimes price will retrace and either form a double, or in this case over here in 2024, it formed a triple bottom, 1, 2, 3, and then we had the explosive up only breakout. So if we are going to go ahead and pull back and form a double bottom, or maybe it will take longer like it did last year and form a triple bottom, where should we look for a potential retracement into? Well, I do have some levels marked, okay? If we go to the 3-day time frame, what we have on the 3-day is we left behind a very large inefficiency here with this explosive move on the 22nd of April. Okay, price exploded to the upside and it left behind this inefficiency and a fair value gap. All right, so if we just isolate that fair value gap like so, we have this level, and we'll make it a neutral color here, and we'll just mark it FVG for fair value gap. All right, this is from 55 cents down to 42 cents. We have come in, as you can see, and we have utilized the fair value gap once already. All right, however, we barely went into it, meaning that there's still a lot of liquidity left inside of this. So if the market were to pull back, I think it's very likely that we end up pulling back into this level. All right, and again, this is from 55 cents to 42 cents. What we can also do is pull a Fibonacci from the high at 80 cents that it made recently on the 7th of May to the low on April 7th. And we get our fib levels. Well, as we can see here, we've already hit the 50% in the fair value gap, and that acted as, a great long entry into this supply level. All right, so if we're to come back into the level, in my opinion, we should be looking at the 61.8 or the golden pocket, and that's currently at 48 cents. Now, if we go back down to the daily time frame, and some people might want to pull their fib from this low, right? Some people might say that this is a swing up and then this is a swing down, so they want to measure this move. So if we were to measure that move, well, we get the fib here, we get the golden pocket at 53 cents to, again, that 49, 48 cent level. It's a very attractive level. And then we have the 88.6 over here, 41 cents. And if we go to the weekly, this is a weekly demand block as well. Down here from 42 cents to 40 cents. Sorry, did I say 48 cents before? This is at 42 cents, okay? So anyways, these are the levels to have marked, okay? These are the levels to have marked out. We have just above 50 cents and we have 42 cents. If we're going to pull back, these are the levels to buy. Of course, not financial advice. You should make your own decision, but these are the levels to buy if we pull back, okay? And yeah, we're looking for an explosive, expansive move to the upside, okay? So if we are going to pump aggressively, where should we be looking for possible points where price will, pull back, retrace, or potentially top out? Well, daily supply zone is at $1.06 up to $1.13. All right. And then we also have higher time frame supply over here from, this is $1.86 up to $2.20. These are take profit levels. Of course, there's going to be some really hardcore believers that are going to hold this thing for, way higher prices, right? We can pull up the coin perspective, and some people have really high prices for Aerodrome, right? Some people are looking for $10. And if the price was to go to $10, that would be an $8.2 billion market cap. Now, that's not really that far-fetched, because if we look at Uniswap, which was the largest decentralized exchange in the 2021 cycle, the market cap of Uniswap peaked out at $22.5 billion. So Aerodrome to 10 at 8.2 billion, it's not that far-fetched. It does actually, the numbers work out. But the thing is, the market's very different from 2021, and there's so much more dilution. There's so many more coins. It's just a different landscape, okay? So it's kind of like comparing apples to oranges if we look at Uniswap from 2021. However, I can understand how people may believe this can happen. Personally, I think it would be wise to utilize the total liquidity charts, right? The total liquidity charts to identify the macro top for the market, such as, say, Bitcoin dominance, USDT dominance, the total 2, total 3, right? When these are showing signs of topping, and if Aerodrome's at an extreme supply level or it already hit, you can hope and pray for higher, but you shouldn't try and fight the trend or the current of the river or the trend of the market. Hopefully that analogy makes sense. All right. So anyways, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because I will be updating you guys when I think that time is coming, okay, or when it's here, going forward into the future. But this is how we're looking at Aerodrome, right? We have the current triple drive in play, and we're going to see if we hold this support level, and the current support level is at 61 cents, right? Or if we're going to come down into this fair value gap again and grab some liquidity before a move higher, all right? And with Bitcoin trading at new all-time highs, it is possible we do see a retracement, or if not, we just continue going in this up-only straight line. Well, then Aerodrome may not pull back. So it's up to you as the trader or as the investor to make the decision that's best for you. I am simply just sharing the chart and what I am seeing. I hope you did enjoy this video. So in this video, we went over Aerodrome Finance and the AERO token. We took a look at all of the recent updates and why Aerodrome is actually a really bullish DeFi protocol on Base. And then we looked at the price chart and went over the analysis and what I am looking for to play out from your buy zones to potential sell targets. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below if you're bullish on Aerodrome or if you're bullish on Base. It's important to understand, if Aerodrome, when it goes on this altcoin season run here, The rising tide is going to lift all ships, and a lot of other base tokens are also going to perform really, really well. Aerodrome is just like the proxy. It's the main play on base. It's the whale's chosen coin, and I made that clear in the video. But anyways, drop a comment down below if you're bullish on AERO, or if you're bullish on any other base tokens out there that you would like to see me covered here on the channel. If you're new to Crypto Empire, subscribe to the channel, leave a like on this video, of course if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. My name is Connor from Crypto Empire. Stay blessed.